Hello, and welcome to the Blitz and Kick podcast. If you want to talk football, you came to the right place because we talk all football all the time. I'm Brad, and today we have, we have my co-founder and co-host Kyle. But today's special guest is from the Culture Corner podcast, Aubin. We have so much that we're going to go through today. Let's go ahead and kick it off with In the Trenches. We have so many good things. It's been a long off season for us. Let's talk in the trenches, Kyle. What do we have first?
Yeah, first we have the Cardinals versus tanking. If anybody is paying attention to the Cardinals preseason so far, they've been trading away players like it's, they're basically giving players away for nothing. And then on the flip side of that, they go ahead and trade, a fifth-round pick for Josh Jobs. So I don't necessarily understand what they're trying to accomplish. I feel like maybe they're trying to tank, but they're doing a very, very bad job of it. Like they're trying to be sneaky, but they're really not being sneaky, and they're trading away picks for quarterbacks that will never play. So what do you guys think about the Cardinals, their strategy with tanking? Do you think it's actually going to pay off? How do you feel about their management overall?
Brad, I'll let you take the lead on that one.
Garbage in one word. Like, okay, we know you want Caleb Williams. It's pretty obvious that you're done with the Kyler Murray project since he's like a COD player and that's about it. But I just don't like, if you're going to tank, there's a smart way to tank, and giving away a first round pick of yours for a seventh rounder is atrocious. I don't care who you are. I don't care who it was. It's bad. That's very bad. You could get a fourth rounder. Look at what Trey Lance just went for. He went for a fourth rounder. You could get something for Isaiah Simmons, and they're just badly tanking. And especially with a first-year head coach that should know better, it just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I was just going to say the whole Isaiah Simmons thing is pretty unbelievable. I mean, I get that certain coaches, certain GMs, they want their own guys, right? But Isaiah Simmons is he's an incredible athlete, and even though he couldn't find his right position with the previous ownership, they should at least, I don't think they know everything about Isaiah Simmons in a couple of preseason games. Like, they did not throw him at every position, and even if they did, that's not enough sample size to see where he's good at. And not to mention, guys, this all started out with Jonathan Gannon and their new GM co-conspirating in this whole Eagles playoff run. And they were talking to each other during that, and that forced them to trade with the Eagles during draft night for a second and third round pick swap. So, it started off on the wrong foot, and Jonathan Gannon was horrible. I think in the Super Bowl. Now his stats are pretty good regular season wise, but to be honest, he didn't play many good quarterbacks. So I question the leadership there. I already question the GM with Kyler Murray inactive, unable to perform these next probably 8-10 weeks maybe. I just don't think they're going to be exciting. And I don't think they have any future prospects either, besides Paris Johnson maybe. Yeah, I'm not.
Well, it's just their franchise is just sad. They've had so much historic mediocrity, and now it just feels like that's just carrying over. It's like you draft Kyler, you expect big things. I mean, you wasted, and I don't know whether this is Kyler's fault for lack of preparation or whatever his thing was, but they got arguably at the time one of the greatest wide receivers to ever do the thing in DeAndre Hopkins, and his tenure in Arizona is utterly a disaster. Not to mention the fact that they got rid of him also, and now he's in Tennessee. You traded for him from Houston. He comes to Arizona with high expectations of being able to make it work with Kyler, make it work with whatever. And then it's just like at every turn we see them just being nothing, just not knowing how to do football correctly. And it's like, at what point at some point you almost feel like the NFL has to do something, right? Like the NFL at some point has to do something and say like, hey, something is happening in Arizona, and if we're so against tanking, like think about the Dolphins and all that they went through with their tampering things with Tom Brady, and looked like they were just throwing it all away, and there was all those speculations trying to get Sean Payton, et cetera, et cetera. You're going to crack down on the team that's doing it. At least the Dolphins were a little bit better at hiding it. Like it's like these guys in Arizona are just doing whatever they think is right or whatever they want to, basically. And I just don't understand how they're going to keep getting away with it time and time again before somebody decides to actually do something about it.
Yeah, last thing I'll say is they got caught with their pants down. Everybody knew they were tanking. So what did they do? They went ahead and traded a 5th-round pick for Josh Dobbs. Like, there's so many things that you could do. So many things you could say that, like, oh, no, we're not actually tanking. And that could have been a better move than trading a 5th-round pick for a quarterback that will never play. And he might play, actually. Like, if someone gets hurt, another guy gets hurt, sure. But, like, there's so many other moves you could have done. Like, example, keep Isaiah Simmons, try him out, different positions.
Here's my thing, really, at the end of the day. I'm sorry, I know you're trying to keep things on time over here. But at the end of the day, while they're having a fire sale, where's Buda Baker at? Because he should be in Philly. He should be in Philly about 4 months ago. I'm waiting for him to make his grand appearance in Philadelphia. That's the one thing, the last move that I think Philly needs to make to really, really solidify themselves as a contender and as the number 1 seed in the NFC. But while we're tanking, while we're throwing it all away, get rid of the only good player you have left. Right. Like send Buda for a bag of chips.
Right. Like that would make sense because you'd probably get a decent return on there. He doesn't want to be there anymore. His contract's almost up. There's so many factors that go into that. You would think they'd be like, all right, that would make sense. We'll put him up on the block, highest bidder. Here you go. I think it's a disservice to him. I mean, he doesn't want to be there. No one wants to be there if you're going to tank. Let's move on here to our next topic on In the Trenches. It's the NCAA versus Reggie Bush. Now, if you remember in 2010, Reggie Bush, he was accused of accepting improper payments from an external source while he was an athlete, and he was stripped of his Heisman Trophy, and he's now planning a defamation lawsuit against the NCAA. So what do you guys think of this whole thing? What do you think is going to happen?
Reggie should get his Heisman back. If Manziel did all the crap that was just in that Untold stuff, if you haven't watched that yet, you should go watch it. It's very eye-opening to the life of Johnny Manziel and kind of his whole career, and it kind of makes sense once you get the rest of it why he just flopped so hard. But if he can get away with the stuff he got away with, give Reggie his Heisman back. There's no contest there. Like, just give it back to him.
I don't think there's anyone in the world at this point that would argue that he doesn't deserve his Heisman back. Like, there's no way you can say that and mean it. It's time. We made a mistake. It's time. I mean, to be fair, he didn't deserve to have it taken away in the first place because the money or whatever he got, I think it was money that he got for, and that's why they took it away from him. It had nothing to do with his ability on the field. The Heisman is about your ability to play the game of football, and if he was doing that well, then I don't understand why. You know what I mean? Like, I don't get it.
And he was doing that better than anybody else.
Oh, absolutely.
Maybe even in the next, 20 years after him. Like, he was so iconic. Like, to me, when I think of Heisman, it's always been him. I know I haven't lived that long, but, like, it's always been him just because of how dynamic he was, how many different things he could do on the field, his speed, elusiveness, just, like, everything that he could do. He kind of encapsulated the Heisman to me more than anybody else has. So it's kind of crazy that, like, the NCAA won't even do justice in, like, restoring that or opening a dialogue. That's kind of insane to me because, like, if the NFL, if a similar thing were to happen, right, I don't know how I could equate that, but, like, let's say it was Patrick Mahomes, like 20 years down the road, most definitely they would get coerced into, like, restoring that relationship because it's the NFL and it's Patrick Mahomes. NCAA, if they want to be taken seriously, like, they need to amend this and fix it because people will be tuning off. And the ones that will be tuning on in favor of not giving him his Heisman Trophy back are the ones we don't watch. We don't want watching college football because those guys are idiots. I know you said there's not many people out there that will think of that, but I think there are probably out there that will say, no, he didn't deserve Heisman
Yeah,
Trophy.
I can tell you what kind of
I mean?
idiots those are, but I think we're keeping politics out of the podcast here. I'm not sure if we're in the right place for that. I can tell you, I know exactly who those idiots are. I know them quite well, in fact.
I see them all the time. Yeah, morons. Anyway, next thing, Jonathan Taylor versus the Colts in the trenches here. Much has been made about the whole Jim Irsay versus Jonathan Taylor thing, paying running backs versus not paying running backs. So where do you guys feel? Are you kind of on the side of Jonathan Taylor, or are you on the side
I
of
think
Colts?
that Jim Irsay should not pay Jonathan Taylor because it's only going to make him mad and only going to be better when he comes to Philadelphia. I don't see what you guys don't understand about this right now. I only care about anything good happening to Philly. As long as everything goes wrong for everyone else and everyone comes to Philly. Buda Baker, get out of the terrible situation in Arizona. Jonathan Taylor, get out of the terrible situation in Indianapolis.
Reggie Bush, go back in time.
Reggie Bush, get drafted somewhere else. Be worse. Don't win the Heisman and get drafted by Philadelphia. I don't think people understand that that's really all that matters to me. It just doesn't. I don't care. I think that running backs as a whole, of course, are often devalued, as we've seen. I think in general, to be honest with you, that players themselves have been devalued over the last several years. We've seen some ridiculous trades get pulled off over the last couple of years. Even like Tyreek Hill going to Miami was cheap. Jalen Ramsey going to Miami was not. Teams are not giving up a lot for star players because people are we're going to find an alternative. We're going to find someone. Everyone's replaceable is kind of the look that I'm getting right now from teams. And so that's just, keep Jim Irsay, keep being the worst, and Jonathan Taylor come to Philadelphia.
What do you think?
Jim Irsay is the biggest trash bag of a GM that I've ever encountered. I think.
Oh, that was Dan Snyder. I'm sorry.
Dan Snyder. I was about to say Dan Snyder, but Dan Snyder's not a GM. But no, he's just awful. He doesn't care about the players particularly. He trolled the fan base about taking 2 quarterbacks.
He trolls them like every year, and
he just trolls. Like he's not actually like a good GM. So why would anyone want to play in Indianapolis right now is beyond me, because this dude does not care about your money. This dude cares about finding a quarterback, and that's it. If you're not a quarterback, you don't matter. So,
yeah, I have 2 points here. First point, kind of a funny point. There's a lot that's been said about these old, cranky, racist white owners in the NFL, and we're starting to see them actually be that. With Twitter in their hands, with phones in their hands, with emails in their hands, we're actually starting to see their character, and it's showing that they're idiots. Second point, I think Irsay should pay Taylor, but I also think he shouldn't pay him. I think he's deserving of more money, but also they should trade him, get value, right, to the Eagles or somewhere else. Someone else should
somewhere else, Kyle. Not someone else, Kyle.
Well,
just to the Eagles.
Just the Eagles.
What kind of Eagles fan are you right now, Kyle? You're disappointed.
We already have enough running backs. But I do think financially it makes sense for them to pay Taylor because Richardson is on his rookie contract. That's where you can spend your money, is when he's on his rookie contract. And guess what? As soon as Anthony Richardson is off his rookie contract and you want him to pay big bucks, and assuming he's good, then you can cut Jonathan Taylor because he'll be at the end of his running back career because they last 4 or 5 years. Brad, what?
Okay. Sorry. This just popped in my head. But if y'all trade for Jonathan Taylor, you realize your backfield would be Taylor Swift, right?
Yeah. Oh, it's all over Twitter right now. Right. Absolutely. And as far as I'm concerned, she had. I didn't see it because I don't like.
She's an Eagles fan.
She's not only is that, but she also had a sold out show at the Link, I'm pretty sure. So Taylor Swift, we already know, has massive success in Philadelphia. So I just don't understand why it's just not happening. Just do it. I don't care that we have 12 running backs in the room. We can cut all of them for all I care. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't. Jonathan Taylor is, in my opinion, irreplaceable as a running back. A tremendous upgrade, of course, from Miles Sanders, and is worlds above every other running back in our running back room. The collective 5 running backs that the Eagles currently have on their roster might equal 3/4 of Jonathan Taylor on a good day. And that's because of injuries and just because of inexperience, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
All right, next, guys. Brad, this is your hot topic. I'm going to let you roll with this one first. In the trenches, Texas versus Alabama.
I see what you did there. Let me roll with Alabama. I got it. Thank you.
Roll time is what he meant.
I have to talk about this game. I almost put LSU, Florida State, but I kind of like this one better just because this could be a loss for Alabama. This is the first time that we haven't had a Bryce Young, a Mac Jones, hook 'em, I know. And what scares me is Arch Manning could be the starter by week 2. And that terrifies me immensely. I think circle this one on your calendar. This is going to be much watched TV maybe. Do you like Quinn Ewers that much, Kyle?
No, I don't think as an Alabama fan, I don't even care who the coordinators are. I don't care if you brought Jim Bob off the street. If you're Alabama and you have that defense against a freshman quarterback, dude, I would feel 99.9% confidence, and the only 0.01% is like it's college football. Anything can happen.
We had Bryce Young and that good defense last year, and look what that almost was against Texas.
You also just have to well,
almost.
I have no comments. Alabama, I hope they lose every game this season.
I just have it there because I don't know. All right. That's fine. As long as we beat you, I'll be happy.
The big story will be Jalen Milroe if he starts, I think. I think that's the big issue for Alabama right now is figuring out who their quarterback is going to be. Moving on, this is our last one for In the Trenches. Trey Lance
100%.
versus NFL. I don't know what you want to call it. The versus, but it's Trey Lance. We're talking about him. Brad, I know you have some strong opinions about Trey Lance.
Yes. When the 49ers originally took Trey Lance, I was very incensed. I thought it was absolutely stupid for them to waste all that capital to go and get Trey Lance. I didn't think that he had the experience. I didn't think he had enough time. I didn't think he was going to the right system. I just didn't think it was going to work out. I honestly think Mac Jones would have been better for them because of how that system runs, because that's the kind of quarterback that you need. Like Trey Lance was such a, we want to have Kaepernick again without having Kaepernick. That's what that pick was. And he just didn't have the experience. He didn't have anything that made sense for them to give up their entire future for Trey Lance. So for them to get a 4th round for it, congratulations. That's probably what he was worth. And the fact that he can't beat Sam Darnold in camp should be terrifying to the rest of the NFL.
Yeah, it's an issue. I just think drafting quarterbacks in general, it's always hard, right? But I think when that first set out, when we were talking about that mock draft, you and I both mentioned Mac Jones is a better probably fit, even though I think we probably like Trey Lance a little bit better as a prospect. Turns out both of them probably aren't that great. Jury's out on Mac Jones right now, but it looks like Bailey Zappe's
jury's out on his revolving offensive coordinators.
That's also very true. No, you're very right. But also a problem with NFL drafts, NFL teams is, what system are you going to, right? And it's just a little weird that Trey Lance could not make it in the 49ers system when Shanahan supposedly has the most quarterback-friendly system. That's strange to me. And number 2 is the 49ers spent all of last offseason complaining, if I would have had another quarterback, we would have beaten the Eagles.
Yes.
And why'd you trade away a quarterback? It's stupid. So 49ers, you're stupid. Stop complaining, you're babies. I understand why they got rid of him. He just wasn't doing it. But I wouldn't be too confident in the 49ers quarterbacks. I would still say Brock Purdy's definitely still unproven, and Sam Darnold is Sam Darnold. So just watch out there.
Sam Darnold is a worse Kirk Cousins.
But Kirk Cousins actually has talent. If I can if I can add one small thing, I'd like to quote a very intelligent man by the name of Stephen A. Smith, who said none other than the Cowboys are an accident waiting to happen. So I look forward to the day that Dak Prescott throws 30 interceptions in one game, and for them to replace him in said game with Trey Lance, because it is just going to be so sweet for all those Cowboy fans who somehow think they had a better offseason, that their team is built better than the Eagles, that they are better than the Eagles, that they don't do anything on the field better than Philadelphia. But for some reason, these delusional Dallas fans think that they've got it, that this is every year is their year. And this one in particular, they're really hating because the Eagles made the Super Bowl and they haven't sniffed the Super Bowl since before all of us were born. Probably if you add up all of our ages together, it might have been their last championship. I don't know.
And so Mozzie Smith is a better prospect than Jalen Carter.
No,
if I hear that one more time,
Jalen Carter is going to eat people alive. I don't think people really understand the monster that we're about to have on this field. He is literally going to devour defenses or offensive lines. Like, it's not going to be healthy. But anyway, as I was saying, it is just, I cannot wait for the day when Dallas just falls apart and I can just sit back and smile. Whether it's Dak Prescott back there or Trey Lance back there, it just shows that Jerry Jones has no idea what he's doing. And I personally am here for it. I love it.
Yeah, I think they definitely could be a dumpster fire. That's always possible. It's more of a likely outcome than them being a Super Bowl champion. Next topic, Gridiron Gang. These are guys that we want to have on our side and our gang. These guys we think are probably going to be studs down the road or had a really good week. And maybe at the end of the year, at the end of this NFL year, we can give out awards for our Gridiron Gang. Our first guy is Nick Herbig, linebacker out of Wisconsin, got drafted to the Steelers late. Brad, you and I both talked about on this show about how we like Nick Herbig. And he just fell and fell and fell. Steelers scooped him up, and he looks really dominant in the preseason. His bending ability, his quickness, the use of his hands, getting around offensive linemen. Do you think he could be a good maybe trio with TJ Watt, Alex Highsmith, and now Nick Herbig?
100%. That was a steal for the Steelers.
Steal for the Steelers. Nice. Our next guy on the Gridiron Gang is Jared Stidham. Brad, you put Stidham on our Gridiron Gang. He had a pretty good game his last outing. What do you think of his performance?
I've always thought the potential is there for Jarrett Stidham. I know he's an Auburn kid. This burns my tongue to say it. But he was decent. He was okay. And I think he always just needed the right system. And I thought maybe the Patriots would be that. I thought he would be like a Bailey Zappi kind of guy. And he just never had that opportunity. But I tell you what, if Russell Wilson struggles, and if Jerry Jeudy gets healthy, I'll say that too, they could actually be okay without Russ for maybe like a game or two, just that little stretch to take care of until Russ comes back. He's not a bad backup. I was kind of shocked that he went off like he did. And he threw to Albert, bless you, I can't pronounce it, a wicked something. I can't even try it. I literally can't try it.
It's got to be racist. I don't know what's going on right now. No.
Probably, unfortunately. But I was just impressed with him. And I don't think he'll be somebody that's going to be a high riser in our Gridiron Gang, but somebody that I thought deserved the recognition for a solid preseason.
Yeah, he 17 of 28, 276 yards, a tutty. Very athletic, very movable in the pocket. And like you talked about with Russell Wilson, it's possible Sean Payton's had enough of Russell Wilson like that. That is a definite possibility during this season. He isn't very young. I think he's turning 34 or 35. He's getting up there. And part of Russell Wilson's game in his prime, he did have a good prime, and he was a very good quarterback at one point. Most of his game was running around on the move, making guys miss, play action, getting out on the side of the field, taking like a lot of his good plays revolved around his athleticism, I think. And if he doesn't have that anymore, it takes away a lot from his game. Let's move on here to our next segment, Sleeper Seekers. These are guys that we feel like you're low on or you're not hearing about. Our first guy is Marvin Mims receiver from Denver. He got drafted out of Oklahoma this year.
I'm so mad about you taking him.
Yeah, Brad's pissed because before this, we had a fantasy football draft, and I took Marvin Mims. To be fair, Brad also had a very good draft. But listen, Judy, he's out, right? He's out for a little bit. We have Cortland Sutton. He can never stay healthy, let's be honest. Marvin Mims, really, really deep play threat for Oklahoma this last year. He's running with the starters. He could step up big time. What do you think of Marvin Mims?
I almost want to call him a safe wide receiver too if we get a better Russell Wilson this season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's one to look out for in dynasty leagues,
especially because they lost what's his name? They lost KJ Hamler due to the heart stuff. So
Tim Patrick too.
They're down another wide receiver in that room. So that room is getting kind of spooky out there.
For sure is. Our next sleeper seeker here is Luke Musgrave, the tight end from the Packers. He was out of Oregon State this last year. He's taking 75% of routes away from the other tight ends. He's running with the starters as well. And like Brad put in his notes right here, rookie young quarterbacks target tight ends often. They definitely do. That's going to be a safety blanket for Jordan Love, no doubt. And remember, when we talked about Luke Musgrave this offseason, Brad, it was like, well, he could be the best tight end in this draft because he's like uber athletic, just oozing with raw talent. He couldn't stay healthy at Oregon State, but when he was healthy, he performed very well. Do you think he could be a top tight end?
Yeah, he soaked up a lot of touchdown catches at Oregon State, and I think he could do the same kind of role with the Green Bay Packers. It's just kind of be that inside guy, quick little route, you're there. Kind of not like Kelsey, because Kelsey's like anywhere on the field you can get to him. But I'm trying to find a good, maybe like Kittle, kind of like a Kittle guy, of just like a reliable touchdown threat, but nothing else.
Yeah, I think you're right on the money with the first one. Like, I hate comparing people to Travis Kelce because he's like one of the best tight ends of all time. But I think Travis Kelce does more of his damage as a receiver than as a blocker. And I don't think Luke Musgrave is quite there as a blocker yet. So I think he'll definitely take more of the middle of the field, seam kind of throws, get downfield quickly, and hopefully have an advantage over slower linebackers. Our last one here, our sleeper seeker, is Will Shipley from Clemson. Little white running back. He rushed for over 1,200 yards last year, 15 touchdowns, 240 yards receiving, a total of 1,748 all-purpose yards. He really doesn't need to climb much higher next year in terms of his yardage, probably touchdowns. But Clemson being the ACC favorite next year, Cade Klubnik's probably going to rely on him quite a bit. Do you think he is a sleeper for the Heisman candidate?
100%. I wouldn't even say sleeper. I'd say maybe like 5th or 6th in terms of like where he is. If he does go off, put him at like 3rd, because obviously quarterbacks are going to be high up there. Somebody's going to go off. Somebody's going to be high up there. Caleb Williams will be back. Hate Caleb Williams, but he's talented. Yeah. I just think he's Johnny Manziel 2.0, but that's a whole nother conversation we can have another time. No, I liked this. When I read this, when I saw your notes, I was really happy that you had Will Shipley in there.
All right, guys. Our next segment here is a new segment. We're going to call it Draft Brew. We're going to go 1, 2, 3 snake draft with whatever topic we deem fit for that week. This week we're going to draft the best Georgia players, 5 selections total for all of us. And basically, we're going to assemble a 5 versus 5 team. And I put down here 1 quarterback, 2 skill positions, and 2 linemen. So that could be an offensive lineman, defensive lineman, edge rusher kind of thing. So it's going to go me first, then Aubin, then Brad, and we'll do snake order.
Is this current players?
Yes, current players. Yes.
Oh, mercy me.
Current players.
Let me grab the roster real quick.
Okay. So current players here. So skill, it could be running back, it could be receiver, it could be corner, it could be safety, tight end, that thing. If you wanted to put a running back at quarterback, I guess you could. And then 2 linemen. That could be offensive linemen, tackles, guards, centers, D tackles, defensive ends, or edge rushers there too. I think that would suffice.
I thought this was all time, so I also have to pull up a roster.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's
sorry.
That's all right. It's a little bit of a switcheroo. We'll do current players here. I'm going to go first, and I'm going. What's that?
Nothing. Go ahead.
I have a couple ideas, but first, for my Georgia draft, I am going to draft. This is actually kind of hard. This is where it gets difficult. The first overall pick. I'm going to draft. That's so hard. I'm going to draft. I'm going to draft George Pickens first overall. That's what I'm doing. George Pickens, he could play receiver on offense, and he could be a nasty corner.
Oh, so it doesn't have to be somebody at Georgia right now.
No. Just Georgia players.
Thank God.
So it is Georgia players of all time.
Yeah. And the NFL right now. Yeah.
Currently playing.
We thought you meant at Georgia.
I thought you meant college, but I'm like, Jesus Christ, superstar.
That would be impossible.
I love LSU. LSU's my favorite team, but I couldn't name you 5 players from the roster right now. I don't follow college football. Okay, hold on.
No.
Okay,
You're good.
Okay,
Georgia players currently NFL. Next segment, next podcast, I'll specify that more clearly. So George Pickens is my first overall pick. That means, Auburn, you are up next.
Yes. Yep. 1 second, please. You know what? We're gonna go. I think this is actually kind of an easy one. What position? I'm sorry. What positions are we taking again? Just so I know.
Taking one quarterback, 2 skills, and the skills could be tight ends, running backs, receivers, corners, safeties, edge rushers, and then 2 linemen.
I'm going to make it easy for myself. I'm going to take a quarterback and take the only Georgia quarterback currently in the NFL who's actually a starter and actually has a chance of putting up numbers. I'm taking Matthew Stafford off the board.
Nice pick. Brad.
Sweet deal. I will take Jalen Carter.
Nice. Brad, you are up again.
Then I will go ahead and take Jordan Davis and finish off my 1-2 punch.
Well, in that case, I will take the DB who plays for the Eagles. He just got drafted.
Keely Ringo.
Ringo, yes. I'll take Ringo.
Keely Ringo. Okay, I have back-to-back picks here. So I'm going to take Darnell Washington. And that guy could be a lineman. He could be a tight end. Whatever you want him to be, he's going to be it. And the pick after that, I'm going to get some speed. No. Hold on. I'm going to pick, Nick Chubb for sure. Nick Chubb.
That puts it on me?
Yeah.
Yes.
So, with that being said, I think the smartest thing, since Nick Chubb is gone, I think I'm going to go with DeAndre Swift.
Nice. Brad, you are up with 2 picks.
Give me Stetson Bennett.
He's sounding salty about that. What's going on?
Yeah, I didn't want Stetson Bennett.
That's all right. I get the.
And that leaves what, Jake Fromm for
no,
you?
baby, you forgot about one that went to Georgia.
I bet I did.
There's only one more.
Oh, are you really? That's cheating, Kyle. I know who you're gonna say.
That's how the game is played.
That's cheating. Sorry. I wish to change my answer.
No, it's already locked in.
Aubin doesn't know.
Wait, who am I missing? Because the list
let me take
only has 3 QBs.
Brad, you go ahead. Your next pick.
Well, I'm going to take a second quarterback now, Kyle, and put him as a skill position. I'm going to take Justin Fields.
Not allowed. That's not.
No, but he didn't finish his career at Georgia.
He went to Georgia.
It doesn't matter. He went
count.
to Georgia.
Oh my! I didn't know that's. Oh, so if you sniffed near Georgia at some point, you okay? All right.
You enrolled at Georgia. You went to classes. You played on the football field.
It's the whole Ohio State
He probably did not
Georgia.
go to classes. I mean, he went to a D1 college football program. He didn't go to classes.
Listen, if we played an Alabama game, someone would draft Jalen Hurts and have no problem. If we drafted an Oklahoma game, someone would draft Jalen Hurts and have no problem. I think it's
you're not wrong.
The difference is Jalen has degrees from both schools.
Justin Fields probably has some sort of degree from Georgia. Okay.
He doesn't even have
degree of
class.
running really
he doesn't even have a
fast.
class ranking from Georgia. He didn't go.
He
He
did
had poor
He did.
attendance.
He
There's
did.
no way.
Okay, this was a whole thing. He went and then he claimed that the coaching staff was racist and was really pissed off with him and left and went to
He
Ohio
was
State.
there for a year.
Could have
Yep.
been.
All right.
All right,
So,
this
Brad,
is
who's your
what
real
it-
number 4?
Justin Fields. I'm going to use him as a running back.
That's ridiculous. All right. Whatever. All right. I shouldn't even told you. I should have just been quiet.
Yeah, you should have.
That means who's up next? It means Auburn's up next, right?
Me?
Or wait.
Yeah, it's me.
Yeah, and then Kyle, you get twice.
Gotcha.
I think I'm going to. We're gonna take Roquan Smith.
Nice.
Smart.
I'm going to take Nolan Smith. He wasn't picked in, right? Nolan Smith.
No,
So
you're
that
good.
gives me my 2 linemen, 2 skill positions. And then, you know what? I don't even need a freaking quarterback. I'm just going to put, I'm going to put,
But what about Jake Fromm?
I'd rather have a running back as my quarterback. I'm going to put Nick Chubb at quarterback. We're going to call it that. And then I'm going to put the fastest guy in here, Mecole Hardman, as my other guy. Just call it a day.
Kyle. Are there even any skill positions left?
Oh,
There's
yeah.
a couple. Did anyone take Broderick Jones?
Nope.
No.
Okay, great. Thanks. That's my lineman. Or is it offense or defensive lineman? What are we?
That doesn't-
What
doesn't
lineman?
matter.
Either.
Okay, great. Broderick
Yep.
Jones. I'll take him.
And then what? It's me.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to move Fields to wide receiver and take James Cook.
What's just happening right now?
No. All right, this game's a little messed up. All right, so you guys at home that are watching, tell us who has the best team. My team is George Pickens, Darnell Washington, Nick Chubb at quarterback, Nolan Smith, and Mecole Hardman. Brad, your team is? I got you. You have Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Stetson Bennett at
I was
quarterback.
just keeping track because I absolutely was
I
not.
got it. Justin Fields at receiver and James Cook at running back. And Auburn's team is he has Matt Stafford, Keely Ringo, DeAndre Swift at running back, Roquan Smith, and Broderick Jones. So let us know who won that draft. I would have won if I didn't have Justin Fields.
Open your mouth.
Yeah. I didn't open my dumb mouth. All right. Our next thing here is blind ranking. So I'm moderating this week. I'm giving out best college football teams. I'm going to give you 5 teams, 5 random teams, in whatever order I see fit. So you guys have to rank them in order of 1 to 5. But after you place a team there, you can no longer move them. All right. So I'm going to keep track for you both just to make sure we have it fair and square.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
Are we both getting 5 separate teams?
No, you're each getting the same team, and we're going to see who ranks it better.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So my first team for you to rank is Notre Dame. And tell me when you have it locked in.
College football, Jesus Christ.
Yes.
I have to.
All right.
What spot, Brad?
5.
Notre Dame at 5. All right. Auburn.
I have Notre Dame at what are they ranked right now in our IRL? Let's go 4. Let's go 4. You know what? I don't
That's a
care.
good
Let's
spot.
go 4.
That's a good spot. Next is Penn State. Better give them the
Locked in.
What spot?
I'm ready.
I'm going to put Penn State at 4.
Oh my gosh. All right. Auburn.
5.
Oh my god, I hate you guys.
A
What we're doing
strong
here.
5.
I
Next
almost said
team-
3, but I'm scared of what else you're going to say.
Yeah, well, you're gonna be scared. Next team is Texas.
Locked in.
What spot?
I'm here.
3.
Oh my gosh, Auburn. What spot for Texas?
3, baby. Let's do it.
Next team is UCLA. What spot?
5.
You know, longer. It's a 5
Oh,
available.
no. 2. Oh, my God.
I'm going 1.
1. Next final team, Rutgers.
See?
Brad, you're putting
I
them
told
at
you,
1.
Brad.
Way to
I
go,
told
Brad.
you. I knew it was coming. Let's go.
That's why you guys shouldn't have put Penn State so low. All right.
No, that's still right.
I was waiting for USC or Clemson or
man,
Alabama.
We're keeping it hot.
Mine sucked.
Yeah, it's all right. This is the first week. This is hard. You're going to have your chance of doing it as well, so don't worry about it. Our next segment here is let's take out the trash. Guys, I'm just going to put it plain and simple, very easy, very quick. Preseason. It's horrible. I'm tired of seeing these nobodies play, especially when they're playing against teams who are putting their starters in to win games. It's just bad football. It's not fun. It's
and the tickets are expensive.
Tickets are expensive. It's boring. I don't even get to see my favorite players play. Even the young ones, even the up-and-coming ones, they don't play anyway. I'd honestly rather watch scrimmage practices against these teams than watch the actual game. So let's just either, I don't know, make it 1 or 2 games, or just college football doesn't have preseason games, and they figure it out. So why can't the NFL?
They have a shorter season than NFL is.
I know, but that gives you a longer season to figure it out. You have a couple games, first regular season games, to work all the kinks out and get it right. All right. So our next thing is our ads, right, Brad? Do we have those available?
Yep. Let's hear from our sponsor and friends.
Fresh Cuts is our amazing sponsor who has been with us since 2020. Fresh Cuts is the local barbershop hangout in Marion, Indiana. If you're looking for a full-service barber with excellent cuts and a welcoming atmosphere, contact Caleb Kemper for an appointment time through www.freshcutsbarbershop.com. Mondays are the best days to get in, although he has plenty of time slots available. And if you happen to miss us live, you'll be hearing us in the shop while you enjoy your fresh cut. Slide on by to Fresh Cuts to pick up some stylish footwear with Caleb's Fresh Kicks collection. From Nike to Jordans, he offers the best price for quality kicks. And if you don't find what you like, Caleb offers custom work for $250. Stop over to 1224 North Baldwin Ave in Marion to pick up yours today, or Caleb also ships all over the U.S. Message him for prices and sizes. Our other people we sponsor, Steve Wood Illustrations and Ronald Morell for Mayor. Check out their respective pages on Facebook. And our other friends at other podcasts, the Culture Corner podcast, 1,000 Wives of Weird, and Rules of the Frame. Check them out on their respective platforms listed below.
Oh my God. What was that? What is that song behind those ads? Holy cow. I was in, I don't know if y'all were paying attention to me in that thing, but I was in my bag right there. I was just going in. That was crazy. That song was fantastic.
Thank you, free music on YouTube.
I think we're gonna skip Blitz package for today. We kind of already covered the whole running back situation, I think.
All right.
Let's move on to No Huddle. We have 60 seconds on 3 topics.
Yep, 1 second.
Brad, do you want to orchestrate this?
Yep, I'm gonna get us set up.
All right.
All right, so who's going first? And then I'll start the 60 seconds.
I will go first.
All right.
All right. First topic, Fields, the best quarterback in the NFC. Last year, he was one of the worst quarterbacks. I stuck up for him quite a bit. But from worst to now, first quarterback in the NFC is absolutely insane to me. I know he got DJ Moore. I know he got another offensive lineman. But to go from worst to first in 1 year doesn't make sense. Next is Dark Horse MVP candidate, Aubin.
Oh, Dark Horse MVP. Shoot, that's tough. Let's go with Justin Herbert.
Justin Herbert, love it.
No comment.
Brad, thoughts on the makeup of the college football conferences?
They're terrible. We should just have one big mega conference and the best teams from the mega conference go into the playoffs. No reason to have crazy things like Penn State traveling to UCLA and stuff like that. It's just insane. Sounds good. We made it before 60 seconds.
Boom. That's how it's done, son. All right. Our next topic.
That was so nerve-wracking. I had no idea. I thought that each topic was going to have its own 60 seconds. And so I thought you were just going to talk for 60 seconds, and then you threw it to me, and I was like, oh, my God, I have no idea what I'm doing.
Keep showing your toes, man. You did well. I think
I'm ready.
That's a good dark horse MVP candidate. I can get behind that. My next thing here is Ice the Kicker. So all my followers out there, all the listeners, you can comment with your guess when this goes live. And if you get it right, your name will go into a drawing to win a special prize from us at the end of the draft season. You guys also can answer if you want. I don't know if you'll be able to get it. Don't Google it. So my question is, for all the marbles, these 2002, 2006, and 2009 Blitnikoff winners all played for the Lions in the NFL at some point in their career. Who were the three players? So
You said so many words that I didn't know. So
I'll
I
say it
think,
again.
No, it's okay. It's not going to help. I don't follow college football enough to know the Bolitnikoff. I feel like I just finished watching the Queen's Gambit, and I'm pretty sure that was just one of the best chess players in that show, Bolitnikoff. I'm not entirely sure.
So I think you guys can get one of them. You guys can get one.
Yeah. Can I say it?
Yeah.
Megatron.
Yep, Megatron's one of them. So the other two are a little bit tougher. I'll give you a hint for listeners out there. One of these guys, he played for the Lions, like I said. He also played for the Seahawks and for a half a year with the Eagles. Made a nice catch against the Bears in the playoffs a few years ago with Nick Foles. Terrell Owens? No. All right, moving on. You guys can guess that in the comments, and you'll be entered to go in a drawing to win a special prize from us at the end of the draft season. Our next topic, our second to last one here, is Rank 'em. We are ranking this week the top 5 rookies in the NFL. We'll go from 5 to 1. I'll go first, and then we can have Aubin and Brad go 5, and my 4, and so on and so forth. How I kind of laid it out, guys, my top 5 rookies, I kind of laid it out like who I think will have the most success this year. My number 5 is Jackson Smith and Jigba. Who's next?
Nice. I'll go. Joey Porter Jr. I think he will carve out quite a nice role with the Steelers.
And this is still at number 5. That's what we're.
Yeah. Yep. Yes, sir.
Jackson Smith is good. I actually think Jackson Smith is going to have a better year than most people think he will, because I think Lockett is going to get injured. Even though I just drafted him, I have him in both my leagues that I've drafted in so far, and I'm 95% sure he's going to be out by the end of the season. But I think that he's going to draw a lot of targets out there in Seattle. So, you know what? At number 5, actually, I am going to go Ringo from Philly. I think he's going to have a breakout year. I think he's had a really good preseason. As much, Kyle, as you hate the preseason, and fully understood it's terrible. But I think that he's looked great, and I think he shot up to the top of the depth chart. I think he's learning from one of the best, obviously, with Darius Slay. I think he's going to have a good year. So that's my choice.
My number 4 is Dalton Kincaid, tight end from Buffalo. As we said, hate preseason, but in the preseason game that I did watch with the Bills and the Steelers, he looked just like a tight end / receiver that can just win. If Josh Allen needs 7-8 yards on 3rd and 8, like 3rd and 7, Dalton Kincaid's going to beat his man. I don't care if it's a linebacker, safety, corner. He's going to beat him, get up the field, have some rack ability. I think Kincaid's going to have a really good year, so he's at my number 4.
Zay Flowers.
Bias much. Oh my gosh.
I just think I'm really excited about Todd Monken. Todd Monken is pass heavy, and Odell's not going to do it. I don't think any of us think Odell's going to pop off like he's like 27 or 23 or whatever again. Zay Flowers should be the starting slot receiver, which means he should get hella touches. And if Lamar looks healthy, Lamar got his money, he should play out of his mind. I think Zay Flowers is going to be the number 1 option.
It's a great pick, honestly. You know what? I have a lot of faith that Bryce Young is going to have a good year. I think Bryce Young is going to have a good year. He's not going to have a great year. He's going to have a good year. And if we're looking at players who will have the ability to have an impact, I think the Panthers have some good things going on in their offense at the very least. I think that he will be one of the better quarterbacks drafted this year.
Nice. I like it. My number 3 is Will Anderson out of Alabama, now on the Texans. what D'Amico Ryans is able to do with the 49ers, I think he's going to get the most out of Will Anderson that any other coach would. D'Amico, remember, he started with the Texans. Like, he knew how to play the game. He won Rookie of the Year, as we found out from Immaculate Grid Dynasty Daddy on a podcast. But I just think he's going to be able to squeeze the most out of Will Anderson. And I think already he's a polished pass rusher. Also, he's violent. He might not be as athletic or quick twitched as maybe Nolan Smith, but it doesn't matter. He has the size, he has the strength, he has the win rate. He's going to be able to get in the backfield and do a lot of good things. So I think he's going to have a lot of success with the Texans. That's my number 3.
For sure. My number 3 is going to be a little risky. I'm going with Luke Musgrave. I actually think that because Jordan Love is so inexperienced, that Musgrave is going to be a premier target in the end zone, and that's going to have him in dark horse Rookie of the Year conversation. Do I think he's going to beat out a quarterback or receiver? Probably not, but he has the skill to actually be up there.
Nice.
I'm going to say at number 3 that Jordan Addison is going to have a good year. I like Cousins. Sometimes Jay Jettis is obviously going to get a lot of attention this year. Rumor, I just read something that was talking about him signing a contract. They're aiming to get him signed to the biggest receiver deal in history prior to week 1. I think that he garners so much attention on that offense, especially now that they've lost Dalvin and don't have a really Dalvin-esque running back. I think that all of the offense clearly goes through Justin Jefferson, and so I think that Addison is poised to have a good season.
Nice. Number 2, I have Bijan Robinson. I don't think I have to say that much. I know he's maybe number 2, number 3 on the depth chart, but he's not going to be there forever. He's definitely not going to be there by the middle of the year. He's going to play. He's going to play a lot. And just from what I've seen, the little I've seen of him in the NFL, and a lot of what I've seen in college football, I just think he's going to be on highlight reel after highlight reel after highlight reel. And their offense is definitely not going to go through Desmond Ridder. I'm sorry, that's just a lie. It's Arthur Smith. He runs the ball. He ran it with Derrick Henry. And if they were to pass the ball to anybody, it's going to be probably short passes to Kyle Pitts. Like, it's going to be a ground and pound type of game, and it's probably going to be with all of the running backs. So I think Bijan's going to get his carries, and he's going to be very, very successful.
For that same token,
Nice.
I am going to take – sorry, Brad, where you want to go?
Yeah, all I was going to say is
ahead,
Will Anderson Jr. for obvious reasons.
I'm going to say that Jahmyr Gibbs at number 2. They emptied their running back room in Detroit, and so I think that he's just got the best chance, let's say, at success. Also, I just drafted him in my fantasy league, in Madden. So I have a Madden league with my buddies, and I was going to take Bijan, and one of my friends got him right before I picked him. And then I was like, dang, now I have to go with Jahmyr Gibbs. And he has been outstanding in Madden. So if Madden has anything to do or anything to say with how his season is going to go, it's going to have a great year. I'm undefeated. I'm 5-0 right now to start the season. And
well, according to Tyreek Hill, who he doesn't watch tape. He just looks at Madden. Film. He just looks at Madden ratings. So, hey, he's one of the best receivers in the NFL. So
that's what I'm saying.
He might be
if he can do it, why can't I? You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying.
I 100% agree with you. My number 1 is going to be Bryce Young. I just think in terms of turning around a franchise, I think he is the most set up for success. We just talked about Jim Irsay with the Colts, right? And that whole travesty. They're a mess. We know the Texans, it's impossible for them to get out of the basement unless you have Deshaun Watson, but then he does that whole weird thing. The other quarterback that got drafted was Will Levis, who can't even get on the field right now. I think Bryce Young was the most pro-ready. Like, I think we knew that. We said that. And I don't think his weapons are maybe Jonathan Taylor-esque with the Colts, right, who might not even be there. I do like Dameon Pierce. I do like Nico Collins. Tank Dell is there. John Mechie's on the mend. I think they do have some nice pieces for him to work with. And the offensive line, they have one of the best tackles in the league in Laramie Tunsil. So I think there is a recipe. I'm sorry. I messed that totally up. That's the Texans. Panthers, they have Adam Thielen. They have Jonathan Mingo. They have Miles Sanders, Hayden Hurst, and actually one of the most legitimate offensive lines in the game. So I guess CJ Stroud has a good setup too. But I'm still going Bryce Young at number 1.
I will take the Bears' biggest mistake ever and Jalen Carter for number 1. I think it was the steal of the draft. I really do. I think all the offseason stuff is not going to matter. I think Philly was a good place for him to learn some discipline, and I think he's absolutely going to be a menace as soon as he gets on that line because you can't stop him. So
I completely agree with you. However, I'm saying Bijan because that team is a disaster in Atlanta. They can't figure out what's going on. They simply can't get it together. And because of that, the majority of touches on that offense have got to go through Bijan. They couldn't figure it out with Pitts. I think that the two of them combined just set him up for success. I think that you were right, Brad, and everything that you said about Jalen Carter. I truly think that he's going to be phenomenal. But I like Bijan's upside a little bit more just because the Eagles' defense is so impressive and so stacked with players that it's possible, even as dominant as he will be, that he'll get lost in the shuffle somewhere.
Probably.
I agree with that. All right, guys, our last segment of the pod is Wheel of the Field. What's going to happen here is we're going to spin a wheel one time. And whatever team we land on in this segment, we're going to have to get more than 5 Pro Bowl nods on that current team. And if it's too easy, let's bump it up to 10 Pro Bowl nods. So, Brad, if you want to do the honors and spin the wheel, let's see if we, as a combined effort, can get more than 5 Pro Bowl nods on this team. And this is current players, by the way.
And we got the it's on Panthers.
Panthers? Oh, where? Oh, right there. Okay, Panthers. Oh boy, that's tough. Oh my gosh. Oh baby. I don't know if they have 5 combined Pro Bowls. Miles
Steve
Sanders,
Smith.
Current guys.
Adam Thielen has to have made at least one.
Adam Thielen, Miles Sanders. How many? I think Miles has one, right?
I think Miles Sanders might only have one.
Yeah. Let's see how many Thielen has. Let's see. He has 2. All right.
So we have 3.
Sanders has 1.
Yeah, Sanders has 1.
Brian Burns.
Oh, yeah. I would think he should have a couple, right? Let's look up. He has 2 as well. So we got 5. I honestly don't know if there are any more than that. I don't think Jeremy Chin has any. Maybe he does. Their corners are pretty young, right? I don't think
because we did so good. Do you want to spin it again and try again?
Sure, spin it again.
I think you got to end on an Immaculate Grid. You mentioned Dynasty, the other thing.
We could do Immaculate Grid. I'm down for that. Chargers. All right. Right off the bat, Keenan Allen might have.
Well, I think you have 5 between Herbert, Eckler, and Keenan Allen.
Yeah, Keenan Allen has 5. Let's reach for 10. Keenan Allen has 5. How many does Herbert has?
He's got to have 2, at least.
Let's see, Herbert. Does it tell me? I think. Oh, he has 1. All right.
Oh wow.
Derwin James probably has a few, right? I would think if he could stay healthy. He has 3. So we have 8, we have 9, and then maybe Austin Eckler, like you said. How much does he have? We can get 10 Pro Bowl nods. He's never been to the Pro Bowl. All right.
Wow.
Who else?
Mike Williams.
Oh, Mike Williams or Joey Bosa. Joey probably has.
He's got to have at least 1.
Got to have a couple. He's 4. All right, so we got 10. All right, so that was a little
and,
easy.
and if not, Khalil Mack is still there.
Oh yeah.
So he's got like 12 between
We
Chicago
could do
and-
one more.
All right, let's do one more. And we can change up these themes every week, so we're not just going to do Pro Bowl stuff.
Seahawks.
Seahawks. Ooh.
Geno Smith has 1. DK has
DK.
probably 1. Lockett has to have a couple.
Yep.
At least 1.
Did Tariq Woolen get in one last year?
I think he
Probably
did.
Maybe.
I think he did.
Drew Lock has 7.
You're high? No, that's not. Wow, that might be it.
They have somebody still out on that defense.
They have a young offensive line. Their defensive line is pretty young as well. They really revamped that whole thing. Did Keandre Diggs go back there?
Andre Diggs, definitely. He was last year.
How many Pro Bowls did he get? He had to have a couple. He's 3. All right, so we got 5. All right, we got 5. All right, so did you guys want to do an Immaculate Grid or call it a day?
Oh, I'm here for it. Brad, suck it up. The baby will be fine. We're doing an Immaculate Grid. Don't even say anything about the
Just
baby.
one.
We don't want to hear it.
Just 1.
Just 12.
Can you pull it up on?
Yep.
You can? Okay.
Yep, I got you. I'm not typing that into my.
Typing in what?
You know what I'm talking about. You ain't slick. You're not slick, bro. You're not. Oh, this is gonna be good. This is gonna be a good one. We're gonna like this one. All right. Oops. No. Sorry, 1 second. Present, share screen. That's the one that I need. All right, here you go. Ooh.
All right. Receiving touchdowns, definitely.
So here are the teams. We got the Vikings and Packers, Bengals, Packers, and then we got 10 or more receiving touchdowns in a season since '99. We got Vikings, Titans, Bengals, Titans in the touchdowns, and then Cardinals, Vikings, Cardinals, Bengals, and then again 10 receiving yards in a season. So we definitely have a couple easy ones. So go ahead, Kyle. You want to take a stab?
Anquan Bolden for the Cardinals.
Oh, I was going to
Which
say
one?
Larry Fitzgerald.
This way?
For the Cardinals, 10 receiving touchdowns.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, now I'm super zoomed in. Here we go.
Nice.
I was going to say Patrick Peterson
Yes.
for the Vikings and Cardinals.
Yep. That's a good one.
Wow, 52%.
Brad.
Titans, you've got Andre Johnson.
AJ Brown.
Or AJ Brown. Brad, you want to
You
throw
wanna
a
go?
name out there?
Well, I was wondering if Randall Cobb would be or Jordy Nelson.
Oh, Jordy Nelson would be a
Jordy's
good one. Yeah,
Jordy's a good one.
you definitely should have had over 10. Nice. Good job. Packers and Vikings. Brett Favre played for the Packers and Vikings.
Oh yeah. Favre.
Any others before we lock in the easy one?
No, go ahead.
Brett Favre. Let's see. Did Eli Apple ever make it to Green Bay?
I don't think so. AJ Hawk did, though. AJ Hawk was on the Bengals and the Packers. These things are.
I didn't put the periods between his names, so now it's going to be stupid.
Yeah, I know. It's very dumb.
Oh, 60% of people is a lot for AJ Hawk.
Yeah, I think they'd be that high.
Vikings, Bengals, and Cardinals.
Carson Palmer played for the Cardinals and the
He
Bengals.
did.
That's
That's
right.
definitely.
It's probably a high one too.
See, Brad, this is going so fast. You almost need to do the second one. All right, this is the hardest one. The Titans, Vikings, Titans, Bengals, and we've got Andre Johnson for sure. 10 receiving touchdowns on the Titans.
I have a weird one for the first one. Is it Warren Moon?
He played for the Vikings?
He played for the Vikings. He played for the Oilers for sure. Don't look it up, Kyle. We're going for it, baby. We're going for it. 6%.
Nice, Brad.
Way to go,
Woo.
Brad. You know what? You might have earned yourself only a one shot at the Immaculate Grid tonight just because of that pick right there. That one is a good one.
You can put in your Andre Johnson one.
Yeah.
It's not Andre Johnson, is it? Who was Andre Johnson was the Texans. It was
Is it AJ Brown?
the one that got in the fight with Cortland Finnegan.
I thought Andre Johnson. Cortland Finnegan.
Cortland Finnegan was on the team. What was but that's not who I'm thinking of. It's not him. Johnson, did he play in Tennessee?
I think he did for a year.
Are we sure we don't want to put AJ Brown?
I think Andre Johnson played for the Titans. I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
Oh,
that's not what I'm thinking of for
should
sure.
have been AJ.
Hey, Brad, we didn't get it perfect. Now I have to do another one. Jeez.
Titans and Bengals.
If Warren Moon is 6%, who is supposed to be there? That's the only player I can think of.
Adrian Peterson played for the Titans and the Vikings. That could be higher.
Oh yeah.
Titans and Bengals.
He also played for the Vikings and Cardinals while we're there.
Yeah.
Do we want to do AJ Brown?
Just to finish it, Brad.
Yeah.
Brad's tired. He wants to go to bed. It's only 9:00, Brad. What the heck?
I have other things I have to do before bed, unfortunately.
No. You're just making it up. You're making it up.
I wish. Wow.
Randy Moss.
Oh yeah.
Fitzpatrick would probably be an appropriate answer for like everyone.
Every team.
Yeah. That's impressive.
Dang.
Well, we tried, guys. We almost had it.
That was awesome.
Well, Brad, thanks for being a party pooper.
You're welcome.
Thanks for having responsibilities and having a kid and having a family. Oh, so much
one day
better than
you'll
the
be
rest of
there.
us. So much better than the rest of us. Golly.
In my draft, maybe, and everything else. No.
Did you see we just got our draft grades.
Yeah. Do you want to know what mine is? You're not going to want to know.
Let's hear it.
Draft grade A+, 13-1. I'm supposed to finish first overall.
I got a B, 6 and 8, 7th overall.
Hey, I'm
not gonna be though.
I'm a B, 6 to 8, tied for 7th overall.
Yeah.
So with you, Kyle, I'm right there with you.
I don't think I'm gonna be 7th though. I like my
Yes,
team.
we'll see.
Yeah. All right. So that should wrap up this whole podcast here. Thank you, Aubin, for hopping on and joining us. It was a pleasure.
Anytime.
Go check out his podcast, him and Shanny, the Culture Corner podcast. Do a lot of good stuff on there. They do a lot of
him and Shaylin. Channy don't do that no more.
Oh, he doesn't. Huh.
This guy Kyle, he's not even following us. He's not even a real fan for real. I'm trying to think. My wife left her pink smiley face earrings in my room, and I've been staring at them this entire time, thinking, should I put them on? Should I wear it for school tomorrow?
100%.
Might be a little stretch. I don't know. I'm sorry. Continue.
What? Okay. What podcast did we just do with you? Which one is that?
That was a rare occasion.
That was mine, which is a part of it's under the umbrella. That was Come On Son that we were on.
Oh, okay.
He's talking because Channy was on there.
Oh yeah, Chaney was there because I wanted another person just for fun because I wasn't sure who was actually going to show up. So
All right, never mind Channing. He's gone.
Yeah, forget Cheney. He's a punk. No, I'm just playing. Just playing.
Yeah, check him out.
But I'll
Guys, we're going to be coming at you with a lot more content every Tuesday. We also
exclusive on Brad's OnlyFans.
Yes, check that out.
I'm selling feet pictures.
Oh no!
That's why he's got to get off. That's why he's got to get off this call. He's got a live stream on it, selling his foot.
But yeah, we have fantasy shows on Wednesday night as well. That's coming up soon. So we are also active on Twitter, Blitz and Kick, TikTok, Blitz and Kick, YouTube, and obviously Facebook and Spotify as well. So thank you for everybody joining us, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.